I'm back again, and today is grocery day. But before I go pick up new items, I want to use some of my staples from last week. So we've got some rice, some pinto beans, an onion, a lime, a can of green chilies, and a few cloves of garlic. I'm going to use my Instant Pot for this recipe. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can easily make beans on the stove as well. It's just better to soak them overnight if that's the method you're going to use. I'm using a cup for this recipe. You can make more. These stay great in the fridge. I highly recommend buying dried beans instead of canned beans. It's cheaper and they're so versatile. I'm just covering these with water. Just want to make sure they're fully submerged. It's okay if you put too much water, but you definitely want to make sure you put enough. I'm going to dice up a little bit of onion. I realized while I was filming that the tripod kept wobbling every time I chop, but life's not perfect, so I just kept going. You can add more or less, whatever your preference is. I save these scraps in my freezer. They make a really good vegetable broth. Now we're going to season these up. Smoked paprika. Seriously necessary. Smoked paprika adds a really amazing flavor. This is white pepper. It's something I use a lot in my fried rice recipes, but it's really good in this if you don't want big chunks of pepper. Onion powder. I'm using about a teaspoon of each of these. You can adjust for your taste. Ground cumin. And this is better than bouillon. It is vegan. I picked this up at Thrive Market, but I've seen it in local stores as well. Just about a teaspoon. It's really salty, so don't add too much. And the can of green chilies. I add the whole can, but I love green chilies, so if this is something that you maybe don't want to do, that's okay. You want to give it a little stir. I tried to mash up the better than bouillon, but it really doesn't matter. Everything's going to mix up well in the Instant Pot. You're going to want to make sure that you close the valve so the steam doesn't escape. and I just used the bean chili method and set this for an hour. And when the timer is up, you want to let it pressure release on its own. Don't open the valve. Next, we're going to steam our rice. I'm using this wild blend. You can use any rice that you like, anything that's your favorite. And then add the proper amount for what you're cooking. Your cooking instructions say for your rice. With this, like brown rice or multigrain rice, I add just a little bit over the amount that it says. I'm going to go ahead and slice up these onions, and I'm going to make fajita style onions. If I had peppers, I would throw those in as well, or maybe if you had some frozen corn, that would be really good. But before grocery shopping, I had onions, so that's what I'm working with. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cook these on a high heat over the stove. You can add a little oil if you want to. It's not necessary. And just cook them until you like the color that they are. I didn't want mine to be overcooked or too soft. I like a nice crunch. So I have a little bit of lettuce left in the drawer in the bottom of my fridge. Not quite enough for a salad, but definitely enough to work with. I'm just gonna chop this up roughly a little small. If you like bigger chunks of lettuce, obviously you can go for that. If you want to shred some iceberg, lots of different variations on this you can do. And while everything is finishing up, I'm wondering what else I can put on top of this burrito bowl. We've got our lettuce, but I think we can add something else. In my backyard, I grow a great amount of herbs, and it's just such a money saver to not buy these at the store. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some cilantro and bring some to Susie. And the rice is all done now. Just give it a little fluff. And these have been pressure releasing for about 30 minutes and they are ready to go. This is chili powder. I add this in at the end because you can add it to taste if you like more or less, depending upon your favorite spicy level. And I'm gonna go ahead and shave some garlic cloves into this. I find that when you put them in before they cook, you just really can't taste the garlic, and I love garlic, so this is going straight in. And I save these tops too for vegetable broth. Just give this a little mix. It does have an excess amount of liquid, but actually that's beneficial if you're going to store these in the fridge. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble our burrito bowl. You can put this in any order that you want. I just like to put my beans and rice on the bottom. When you're getting your beans out, kind of drain the liquid off a little bit. This recipe can vary depending upon what you have in your pantry before you're going grocery shopping. But a lot of these are staples that I usually have before I go replenish my groceries. So this is what I had to work with, and it's nice to see what variety you can get. This is my favorite salsa. I just happen to have a lime, so I'm squeezing that over the top. And we'll sprinkle on our cilantro. If you happen to make your own pantry staple burrito bowl, please share. I'd love to see what variation you did. And if you're like me, and this is good, but maybe you need a little bit more of a crunch or a salty spice, I like to add, if I have tortilla chips in my pantry, and usually, you know, those crumbs you end up with at the bottom of the bag, those are great for on top of chili or on top of a burrito bowl. These are delicious. I bought these at Thrive Market recently too. And they really added a nice spice and crunch. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll come back soon.